Imprinting versus bonding in dogs, the critical difference.
Imprinting versus bonding in dogs, the critical difference every owner must understand. Most people think bonding and imprinting are the same thing. They're not, and if you don't understand the difference, you can love your dog deeply and still end up with insecurity, anxiety, or behavioral problems that never fully go away. Today, I'm going to explain the real difference, what science shows, how they work, and why this changes everything in how a dog develops. Imprinting is a biological and neurological process that happens early in a puppy's life. This is not training. This is not learned behavior in the traditional sense. This is brain wiring. During the first weeks of life, especially between 3 and 12 weeks, the puppy's brain is in a critical developmental window. At this stage, the brain is highly plastic, meaning it is forming permanent emotional and behavioral patterns based on experience. This is where the puppy decides, at a subconscious level, are humans safe? Is the environment threatening or neutral? Is touch comforting or stressful? These are not choices. These are internal programs being written into the nervous system. Scientific research in behavioral neuroscience and veterinary behavior shows that puppies exposed to positive human interaction during this early period develop stronger social behavior, higher confidence, and better stress tolerance. On the other hand, puppies that lack proper exposure during this window are much more likely to develop fear-based behaviors, avoidance, or instability later in life. This concept is directly related to the early learning principle known as imprinting, originally described by Konrad Lorenz, where early exposure creates long-lasting behavioral direction. So understand this clearly. Imprinting is early, it is fast, it is deep, and it sets the foundation for the dog's entire life. Bonding is something completely different, is the emotional relationship that develops between the dog and the human over time. This is not something that only happens early. Bonding happens throughout the dog's life. It is built through consistent interaction, trust, leadership, communication, and shared experiences. From a psychological standpoint, bonding is strongly connected to attachment theory, the same framework used to explain relationships between humans. There is also strong scientific evidence showing that dogs and humans share a hormonal bonding system. Studies have shown that when a dog and its owner look into each other's eyes, both release oxytocin, the same hormone involved in mother-infant bonding. That means the connection you feel with your dog is not just emotional, it is biological. But here is the key. Bonding is flexible. It can grow, it can weaken, it can be rebuilt. Unlike imprinting, bonding is not locked in early development. Here is the truth, simple and direct. Imprinting is the foundation. Bonding is the relationship built on top of that foundation. Imprinting shapes the dog's internal world. Bonding shapes the connection between the dog and the human. Imprinting happens once during a critical window. Bonding happens every day for life. Imprinting is subconscious. Bonding is emotional and experiential. And this is where most people get it wrong. They try to fix foundational issues with bonding, and that does not work. When imprinting is done correctly, bonding becomes natural and strong. The dog is open, confident, social, ready to connect. That means bonding flows easily. But when imprinting is weak or incomplete, bonding becomes more difficult. You can still have a dog that loves you, but that same dog may be anxious, reactive, overprotective, insecure. That is not a lack of love. That is a lack of proper early neurological development. From a scientific perspective, early imprinting affects how the brain processes stress, fear, and social interaction. Later, bonding affects trust, cooperation, and emotional connection. They are connected, but they are not interchangeable. Love does not fix everything. You can bond deeply with a dog and still struggle with behavior because bonding cannot rewrite early imprinting. But strong imprinting makes bonding stronger, faster, and more stable. This is why some dogs feel easy from the beginning, and others feel like constant work even with good owners. So remember this, imprinting is what shapes the dog from the inside. Bonding is what connects the dog to you. One builds the mind, the other builds the relationship. And when both are done right, you don't just have a dog that loves you, you have a dog that is stable, confident, and truly balanced. If you want to understand how to raise a dog the right way from the beginning, not just train it later, follow this channel. Because this is where we talk about real development, not just surface-level training.
After 50 years, I can tell you this. Dogs are not fixed later, they are built from the beginning. Learn the difference.